morning, everybody. My name is Jared O'Leary. I've been drumming since 1998, and I still got plenty of stuff to work on today. I'm practicing tenor sweeps on the tenor drums, specifically going to be working on the left hand, moving back and forth from drum 2 to drum 1, etc. Now, in these practice streams, there are over 500 of them in this playlist. There are timestamps in the description to show what I was practicing or what kind of a question I was answering. Think of this kind of like office hours. I'm here to grind for XP, to try and get better, and people will sometimes ask me questions about how to get better at performing or how to get better at teaching because I have a PhD in music education, so I've taught every grade, kindergarten to doctoral student. Now, I often get questions that I edit and put into this drumming tips playlist that has over 20 hours of drumming Q&A on a wide range of topics from simple to complicated concepts. The first thing that I talk about is whatever the title is. So, for example, how to teach the drumline to blend in with the ensemble. And then if it says and other drumming tips or and other teaching tips at the end of it, that means there are more topics in there that are not related to that. So if you're not interested in the title, just check the timestamps. There might be something else that is of interest, but there's over 100 videos inside of here and over 20 hours of different content. So check it out if you are interested in those tips. And you can find that in the home tab on my YouTube, by the way. Now, I am a snare drummer who is cosplaying as a tenor drummer. So I am going to get Shia LaBeouf here to help motivate me to get better at playing the tenor drums. We're going to hide him for copyright, but give me a second. Increase the resolution. And Shia, here we go. Let's get motivated. Do it. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit, and you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Wow, Shia LaBeouf, everybody's super motivated now. One more flex for good luck. Now, all of the thousands of resources that are on my home tab are organized into different sections for different things to work on, like your chops or grid variations. You just got to click on the different headers, and it expands and shows you all of the different playlists inside of here. For example, there's over 1,000 grid variations in all these different playlists for 16th note, triplet, some wacky ones like hurt the grid, etc. Yesterday, I was practicing the limb independence section. Every single one of these playlists links to a video towards the top on how to develop limb independence following a series of steps that I've demonstrated live on stream, where I've gone from can't even play it, the ostinato pattern, to being able to sight read these different charts with limb independence variations. There's over 500 marching bass drum stuff. I highly recommend actually going to the playlists at the bottom, the different timing exercises and marking time to these before you get it into the more advanced stuff like splits timing, etc. But you do. There's a bunch of cadences and scores. There's sight reading content. This is coming out in November. So if you have the membership, then it gives you that early access for 99 cents. But I promise everything is coming out for free. But these start coming out in November. I've got like around 600 videos, so there's a lot of content that's scheduled to release. There's all the technique stuff in here. I'm going to be working out of a playlist that's at the bottom here today. I'm going to be working out of this 16th note diddle variations, but there's playlists to work on your flams, your endurance and speed, your stick control, whatever. And finally, here's where you can find the 20 hours of drumming Q&A, and then some scripted lessons on very specific topics like how to hold traditional grip or how to speed up a rudiment, etc. And then here's all the the live stream sessions if that is of interest to you. Now, I'm going to warm up. I'm going to warm up with a grid variation. So I'm going to go into grid. And I'm going to do Flam drag grid, just triplet on 1. So there's 16th note, and then there's triplet playlists. And when you click on this, at the moment, this playlist has 28 videos inside of it. I'm just going to do the first one here, Flam drag on 1. And I'm going to go just at a nice, comfortable tempo. And just play it a few times to get the blood flowing. I'll stretch and massage, and then I'm going to work on some tenor sweeps. So let's do, I don't know, 130 as a warm-up. That should be good, I think. Stay tuned. We'll find out. go. Okay, so this is the forward version. So you're going 4, 2, 1. And you're starting with the accent on the first partial, then the second partial, and then the third partial. And you do 4 of each count. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you move to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move to the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you do 2 of each. So first partial, second partial, third partial. Repeat that. And then you do 1 of each. First partial, second partial, third partial. Repeat that. And you keep repeating that. Okay? So this is what grid is. So let's try it again. Last rep. Okay, now another way that you can work on this is to go backward. So this is Flam drag on 1, but with 1, 2, 4 accents. So this variation, instead of going 4, 2, 1, it's going 1 of each, 2 of each accent, 4 of each accent. So it flips that, but it also flips the partials. So we start with the third partial, then we go to the second partial, and then we go to the first partial. So let's do this whole thing. I'll also do it at 130, just so you can see what this one's like. So it's good to work on forward, backward, off the left, off the right, 16th note, triplet, whatever. All these different variations. They're fun. Whoops. Let's try that again. Played the wrong thing. So my left hand, when I do it off the left, for whatever reason, I want to do a cheese here instead of a normal diddle. I keep screwing it up, and I'm like, no, don't. Anyways, cool. So that was just to get the blood flowing. So now let me actually stretch and massage. So the first stretch that I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch the sides of the form. So you take your sticks. Thank you for the like on Facebook. You take it, you pull it in, you push it through. Ooh, it feels good. So this one is stretching the sides of the forearms. I definitely need it. My hands feel tight. My forearm on my left forearm felt really tight this morning while working out. Which, you know, every day it's going to feel different. To get out of this, just go the way that you came. Now, the next stretch that I'm going to do is actually going to stretch the underside of the forearm. So you could pull it back like this. It allows you to do it one at a time. You could do it on the wall. The lower you go, the deeper the stretch. If you do it like this. Or you could do this on your pad. And this will make it so that you can stretch 2 at a time. Just don't put all your weight into it. Since you're on Facebook, I'll say that YouTube is where you can find the play-alongs that I was just using. Should be a link to that there. Okay, so that was the underside of the form. Now I'm going to stretch the top side. So you could do it like this. Or you could do it on the wall. The higher you go, the deeper the stretch. I'm going to just go ahead and do this one on the drum pad. Try to demonstrate it a different way on each stream. Do I stretch before playing or after? So I stretch after I play for like 3 to 5 minutes. So I just stretched after I played through some Flam drag on 1 grid, and I wasn't playing super fast or anything. So 130 is just like a decent tempo. So nothing too crazy, but it just gets the blood flowing, and then I do the stretch and massage routine. Good question. So that was stretching the forearms. Now what I'm going to do is stretch the fingers. So I'm going to do thumb to thumb. It makes it go twice as fast this way. And hold it as long as you need it. Stretch here. This is a same stretch and massage routine that I've been doing for a long time, a couple of decades now, after some injuries many years ago. And something that I also did with the drum lines that I used to teach is we would warm up for just a little bit, just get our hands going, and then we'd go through this routine. Trying to model the things that you should be doing to kind of make it so you too can be drumming when you're old like myself. And pinkies. But I will elaborate that stretching at the end of the day is also a good thing. So it is advised. If you actually go to the home tab here on my YouTube, scroll all the way down to the drumming lessons section, past the thousands of play-alongs. This one has Q&A, like questions like you asked, me responding to them. There's some really complicated questions sometimes people ask, and some simple ones. But inside of here is just a playlist of lessons on a very specific topic that I've scripted out. So if you scroll down toward the bottom here, this is the stretch and massage routine that I'm doing. There's some extra rotary motion stretches if you do like Stevens grip or traditional grip that I demonstrate with better camera angles inside of here. But this video, what to do 10 minutes, 1 hour, and 5 hours after drumming, gives you some tips on how to recover after you drum. So I highly recommend watching both of these. And doing the stretch and massage routine at least once a day, if not twice a day, is beneficial. So after just like a few minutes of warming up, do the stretch and massage routine. And then if you want bonus points, I'd highly recommend doing it later on in the day, like a few hours later. But these two videos are super helpful for learning some of the tips that I've learned over the years, over the decades actually, about how to recover with playing and keeping your hands healthy. And again, I've been playing for almost 30 years and still don't have hand issues because of the technique that I'm using and because of these things that I outline inside of here in this drumming lessons video. But there's other stuff in here like how to speed up any rudiment that might be of interest to other people if you're interested in that. Home tab. Cool. So that was the stretch routine. So that was going from like large to small. Now what I'm going to do is massage from large to small. So I'm going to massage the forearms, the hands, the fingers. So this just takes like another couple of minutes and it's worth your time. When doing this, you're going to stretch on the muscle, around the muscles. So for example, this is the forearm muscle. So when you just move it up and down, this is not a flexing thing. This is just moving that muscle right there. So you'll stretch along it, you'll stretch around it, etc. Just trying to get everything nice and relaxed whenever you're doing this. So that way when you're playing, you too can do that. And again, it's not a strength thing. So this is not like you're trying to build your muscles like, no, stay loose. But speaking of, massaging helps with that. If you do rotary motions like traditional or Stevens, hello to you. You might need to massage your bicep because your bicep moves up and down. Maybe even your tricep, depending on what you're doing. Thank you for the sub. Home tab is where you can find all those resources that I was demonstrating and drumming to. There's literally thousands, plural, for free. Any of those members' first ones are coming out for free. New play along daily, almost 600 of them. It's 99 cents if you want that early access, or just wait. It'll come out. Next, what I'm going to do is massage the hand. So I'm doing thumb massaging the palm, fingers massaging the backside, just trying to get everything nice and relaxed. Loosen everything up. Ooh, that feels good. And then after doing this quick little massage routine, I'm going to work on sweeps on the tenors. Specifically working on left-hand sweeps, and I'm going to slow this exercise all the way down to 40 and go up one click at a time, really refining it. Last one is massaging base the tip of each of the fingers just to loosen everything up. So since I'm playing tenors, I will not play with the Hardeman hammers that I warmed up with. They're extra heavy sticks. They're great for building chops and endurance, but they are a bit long for tenor sticks. When you do this massage for each one of the fingers, do it at least twice. Just kind of wiggle your way down the finger. Ooh, this one's a little tighter. I'm going to do it 3 times. Whoa. Wow. All right. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so for context, Here's we put them together. The same type of stick, but a different bead. So the tenor stick, larger bead than the hammers, and then they're shorter. So they're a little bit cut on the length, so that way it makes it a little bit easier for the crossovers and stuff. So otherwise it'd be weird. So the thing that I'm working on is a sweep. A sweep is when you do like a diddle or something from one drum to another drum. So for example, if you're playing like a right hand sweep from drum 2 to drum 1, it looks like. So the first note's here and the second note is here. Now I'm using these playing zones because they are efficient. Your tenor playing zones change depending on what you're playing, where you're playing, etc. But I'm going to work on left-hand sweeps. So my right hand is just going to stay on drum 2 the entire time. It's going to be bored. And my left hand is going to be going back and forth. So it's going this way, this way, that way, with every one of the diddles, da-da, 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 etc. What are those pad formations supposed to replicate? Tenor drums. So this is for drumline. So this is got a setup for both 5 and 6 drums, so quints and sextuplets. So the 5 drums would be the 5 that you see right now, where your tenor Spock drum would be in the center. And if you had a 6 drum setup, it would look like this. So this one would be gone. So the way that Vic Firth designed the quadro pads is so that you could practice with a 5 setup or a 6 setup. Whereas back in the day, with the older ones, you had to put the laminate or the pad on, and you'd stick either 1 or 2 of them on, depending on how many you had. And that was for the older model, but the newer model has it built into it. So, okay. Now, the exercise I'm going to use, if you go to my home tab of YouTube, there are literally thousands of free drumming resources in here. But if you scroll all the way down, I just want to show you something real quick inside of here. Inside the drumming lessons playlist, this one, it might have a different title for you. Fix your tenor playing zones to drum faster. The one that's got this thumbnail, this one shows you some like different ways that you can play depending on what you're working on and how your playing zone will actually shift depending on what you're doing. So highly recommend checking that one out if you're interested. But that's in the home tab. For marching? Yeah, for marching. But I'm going to warm up, or rather work on an exercise that's in the technique section. There's almost 500 exercises just in this section. So you click on the header, and it expands and shows you all of the different playlists in here. So you can work on endurance and speed for your hands or your feet, like I was doing yesterday with this one. It's got 70 videos on it. You work on your flams. You can work on stick control. That one has 16 videos inside of it. I'm working on this playlist, 16th note diddle variations. Inside of here are currently 39 videos, and I'm going to scroll down a little bit to find an exercise called Rodeo. And in Rodeo, I'm going to be playing, oops, I went too far, just left-hand sweeps. So the entire time the right hand's staying on drum 2. And I'm going to start at 40. Why at 40? Because I'm refining my technique. What I'm specifically focusing on with the left hand is I want to make sure that my left hand is not changing and flattening out to a German approach. I want to keep this American angle. And I want to make sure that my left hand is not bending at the wrist when doing these sweeps. So I don't want it to have it so that the stick is following the wrist like this, like a snake. What I want instead is for my vertical playing to look and feel the exact same way, and I'm pivoting at the elbow to make it so that I do the horizontal motions, okay? So the side to side, all of this is going to be from up here, not from down here, and not from the wrist. I don't want to do that. There are some moments where you might do that, but this is bad. Okay? Here we go. Starting at 40 so I can really refine the technique. It's slow. I'll show you in a second. So sweep is when you go from one drum to another drum. In this case, I'm doing from drum 2 to drum 1 with the diddle, first note. Second note is over here with just the left hand. So we have here is a sweep. You're welcome. Good question. On. It's just a very basic one. So I'm just working on the left hand because there's some inconsistencies with the left hand where I'm like hitting the rim, etc. But there's more complicated ones that you can do. Like these are called windmills, where you're moving around and you're adding in some different crossovers. But when you're doing this, you are sweeping every single pair of diddles because you're playing on a different drum for the second note than where you start on the first one. But there's other variations where you do like around the worlds, etc. Now I am hitting rim on here, which means I need to practice it, hence why I'm working on it. And we're doing it slow so I can really refine the technique, and why I'm looking down and really trying to overanalyze to make sure I don't do that when I'm playing it. And I'm not doing the right hand right now because my left hand has been the issue that I'm working on when I collected data the other day on the tenor stream. Whoops. I keep playing the wrong part. I keep playing like a different roll exercise. Whoops. The problem with knowing too many of them. Not paying attention to the music, I'm paying attention to the technique. Ah. Now I'm going up one click at a time so I can really refine my technique. Highly recommend you do this. Something that I've been doing for decades. Something I've been teaching for decades. Around the back. Cool. Okay, so so far the wrist is not like changing much. The biggest issue is just like sometimes hitting a little bit of a rim when I'm making like a micro adjustment. I'm just gonna keep working on that. Monitor everything. Bad attack. See what I mean? on line 3, I hit rim because my thumb just like came off the stick. A little too relaxed, I'd say. Hit a rim on that last one because I was going to do 2 in a row, going from 2 to 1. And I was like, wait, I got to go the other way. Too late. Water break. Stay hydrated. Hope you enjoyed that ASMR. Here we go. Thank you for the racks. Ah! I messed up. But thank you for the reacts. Okay, so this was just going up 10 clicks. And to go from 40, starts at the 51 mark, to here. So it's a good amount of time to go through this, but it's totally worth it. What I'm going to do now is going to go from 50 to 60. And it's going to take about 13, 14 minutes or so to be able to go through that. And that is time well spent just going up one click at a time. Next tenor stream that I do, I'm going to try and go 20, maybe 30 clicks faster for what I'm working on. So for example, going from 100 or a minute and 1 hour and 21 minutes, starting at 60 BPM, if we were to go up to here to 90, it'd take about 30 minutes to do that. That is time well spent just going slowly. So it might seem very tedious, but 30 minutes in the grand scheme of things with your practicing is not a lot of time. So take your time when working on this and just go slow, go up one click at a time until you get to a point where your technique falters and you are inconsistent with it, and basically like chop out. And then you use that as data to go, well, what was breaking down with my technique? And then you try working on that again by slowing it back down and then going up one click at a time while doing this. Hello to you. So let's continue this. I'm going to go up 10 more clicks, then I'm going to chop out, and then I'm going to get ready for Yakuza stream. And then tomorrow we'll do more drum kit. Late. Table? No, it's a tenor pad. On top of a tenor pad. That I am. Just focusing on the left. And that's why. So drumstick, when I was working this the other day, I was collecting data, and the right hand felt fine, sounded fine, but the left hand was inconsistent. So we're focusing on that. Feels way faster than 40. Two times in there, I just like forgot where I was at in the music. Gotta focus. Late. Yeah, so my technique is like trying to be as relaxed as possible, and at one point the sticks, they feel a little like smooth, just like started slipping out of my hand, like my pinky totally just like went on the other side of the stick for a moment. Whoops! Early! So the left, I'm trying to get like very efficient with these motions from one drum to the next to make it as the least amount of energy expended as possible while doing this. The problem is I'm going so efficient with it that I'm sometimes going and hitting the rim on that. My bad. So I need to just like move the playing zones out just a little bit more, so that way I'm less likely to hit that part and more likely to, hit the drum, but not in the center. Don't do that. Stop it. Get some help. Oh, yeah. One of the many reasons why I like these play-alongs is it allows you to hear those inconsistencies in the interpretation. Slurred out a couple of the diddles. So sorry. Cool. 2 more reps, and then we'll chop out. See how it looks from up top. My stick hit and it just like whoosh. And it's gone. Cool. Okay, so that was Rodeo, which is a like extended bigger brother version of Gallop. Now what I want to do is just chop out for fun. I'm going to keep refining that. We'll start at 60 next time and go 1 click at a time until it starts to sound bleh. But to play this particular play along, it's in the technique section. If you go to the home tab here and you scroll all the way down past all these other play alongs, inside the technique section on the home tab, click the header, otherwise it won't show it. And you have to scroll all the way to the bottom. Inside of the 16th note diddle variations, there's 39 videos in there. There's also 40 for triplet related roll exercises and a ton more stuff inside of here. Now, if you're like, well, how do I know what good playing zones are? How do I come up with different splits, etc.? Inside of this drumming lessons playlist or this tenor tips and tutorials, it has like a compilation of all these different ones, like playing zones, how to play crossovers, how to move faster around the tenors, how to create different tenor splits, why tenor drummers are always tuning, whether or not I think this drum pad is worth it, etc. There's a lot of different tips specific for tenors inside of there. And if you're not a tenor drummer, that's okay. There's 20 hours of tips inside of here, and there's a bunch of scripted lessons that are inside of here that are not related to tenors. Now, I was just working on a roll exercise, but I want to chop out at the end of this particular session. So I'm going to chop out with a chop exercise towards the top. Inside of here are currently 91 different chop exercises. Bunch of fun stuff that you can work on, like some shopping sprees, flamis, cheesy poofs, etc. I'm going to play through a float drag variation. When you open up this playlist, it has several different videos for different rudiments. But I'm going to do it with float drags with flam drags. So a float variation, if you're not familiar with it. So flam drag is this. Usually in 3-note groupings. But a float variation is in 5-note groupings with an extra diddle on the 4th note. So normal, float drag. Okay, so this particular exercise goes flam drag, float, flam drag. Then you do that off the left. Flam drag, float, flam drag. And then you do float, flam drag, flam drag, flam drag, flam drag. 3 flam taps, which puts you off the left, and you repeat this whole thing right here. And then the top part is just check, okay? So no diddles, same sticking and everything. And this is for just the flam drag variation. Now, float comes from Tom Float, who, I have his signature sticks up there, actually signed by Tom. He's a world-famous drumline instructor, formerly taught the Blue Devils, among other groups. Here we go. I'm going to go up by 10s just until I get to the point where I can't play any faster. Just to chop out for fun. 3, 3, 5, 5, 5, 3, 3, tap, 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 off the left. 5, 3, 3, 5, 5, 5, 3, 3. Flam drag, float, flam drag, float, flam drag, float, flam drag, float, flam drag, flam drag, flam tap, flam tap, off the left. Float, flam drag, float, flam drag, float, flam drag, flam drag. Talking messed me up on that last part. Okay, now we'll go up by 10. This time I won't talk. Turns out it's hard to talk and play. And go. Way early. Do I have resources for straight leg and toe down marching? Or know of any? Do you subscribe to Forte Athletics on YouTube? Forte Athletics. Forte Athletics has a ton of different stuff. He marched tenors, I believe, way back in the day. And so he specifically focuses on like how to move, how to do exercises to like strengthen your core, your back, etc., your legs. But he might have some good exercises and some tips on that. But one of the things that I've talked about before is when you are doing marching, for a lot of techniques when you're moving, you'll end up going straight forward is like basically the only time you're on your heels, where you do like straight leg going forward. That's it. Every other direction, diagonal, to the side, backwards, you're going to be on your platform the entire time. So because all of those motions, except for going forward, is going to be on the platform, the most important thing for you to focus on strengthening is that ability to stay balanced and whatnot while on the platform. So like I'm on one leg right now on the platform. So strengthening up your calves by doing calf lifts, like with your drum on, like you have like one leg out And then like lift. If you want extra challenge, do it on like a curb. So that way you can go lower with the heel going down. But doing calf lifts are great. Also running backward. So when you run, you push off with your platform and try and keep your legs straight while running backward. Is a great way to build up like the push off motion that you will use when moving backward. When you're tracking, so like when you're just like sitting there and playing like a flam exercise or rolls or whatever it is, show music, instead of like tracking while just like moving forward, track while crab stepping, track while going backward. Just have an instructor who can make sure you're not going to run into anything. Track while going at a diagonal, etc. Like do everything you can to stay on your platform as much as possible when you're practicing moving, as opposed to like just practicing moving forward, which is the motion that you will use the least unless you're in a parade band. If you're in a parade band, then sure, you'll be doing a lot of that. But in general, outside of a parade context, when you're in an actual show, the most that you're going to be doing for your movements is going to actually be different angles where you're on your platform. So focus on calf, quad, core strength, etc. And move as much as you can backward and diagonal, etc. Crab step. But Forte Athletics, I'm assuming will have a lot of like good resources related to that. Do. By the way, there's 3 different ways that you can do these flam taps at the end here. You could do them all accents with a distinct low grace note. You can do them as like a decrescendo, so think of the second one as a tenuto, and the grace note is down at grace note height. That's the one that I'm kind of doing right now. Or you could do it as an accent tap. However you want to do them. Is 100% up to you. But I'm playing them as just basically a decrescendo because I'm going to play it fast. 140. Boop. By the way, flam taps are just 3s. So the fastest that you can do those, 3 and 3. When you overlay them, then it creates the flam taps. So if I do, I'm going to start with flam taps and then just like slowly slow down one hand until it gets to the point where they are separated from each other. And then you can bring them back. It's called a modulation when you do that, where you just kind of like have one hand get out of phase, out of sync. But it sounds like this. So again, same thing as you're just putting them in different order, a different alignment. So if you want to work on your flam taps, work on your 3s, and that can help you out with that. Okay, 150. I think 170 might be my breaking point today. We'll find out in a couple of reps. started playing the wrong thing and then corrected it. One day you hope to have flam drags that clean. Just go slow. Go slow. Relax it. Play with refined, defined accents and taps. Really focus on rhythmic accuracy and whatnot. I started at 40. I'm going to just go slowly. I'll show you a thing to help with that. I was watching some clinics of like Murray Gussick, Roger Carter, some other like really well-known drumline instructors, OG legends, and all of them were saying practice slow. I would still have students be like, "Yeah, that's not gonna work." Okay, I mean, if you don't want to trust me, that's fine. If you don't want to trust them, I think they know what they're talking about. Thumb came off. Yeah, so I was like really trying to focus on like staying like super relaxed. I got too relaxed. My thumb came off the stick. Turns out it's hard to play without a thumb. Okay, we're almost there. So I'm going to do 190 and then 200 for funsies. And then I'll show you something that can help. One of the many resources that can help with your flam drags. The thing that I warmed up with, the flam drag grid, is a great way to just like get control over the flam drag. But there's another like tool that I've got on my home tab that's helpful. I'll show you. Yikes. Both you and your percussion professor have very enlightened. Well, I'm glad there's consistency. Okay, I'm gonna attempt this. It's gonna sound terrible, but it'll be fun to try it. It's gonna immediately tap off. Normally, if it ends with a 0 or a 5 in all these play-alongs, it like gives you a few seconds to get yourself set up. But this very last one, it just immediately taps off. And all the other ones tap off. Like if I click 181, it'll just like start tapping off. But here we go. Wish me luck. I slowed down. Turns out 200's fast. If you're better than that and you have YouTube Premium, you can go click on this gear right here. You can click on playback speed and you can slide this all the way to 4x. So you can play this at 800 if you'd like. Let's see how that sounds. Next time I'll play it that fast, but I don't want to show off today. If you go to the home tab though, where I was just practicing was inside of here in the float drag playlist, inside of the chop section. But drumsticks, so what I was saying might be a good tool for you. If you go into the technique section down here, slow, fast, slow is like super helpful for working on rudiments like this. Doko desu ka? Okay, so this one, when you click on slow, fast, slow, it's got a bunch of different subdivisions in here, like 8th notes, swung 8th notes, triplets, 16th notes, swung 16th notes, and just quarter notes. So if you're working on, like, let's say triplet flam drags, what I'd recommend doing is not play it at 4x speed, but just go to normal speed. But in the timestamps in here, let's say your maximum BPM that you can comfortably play flam drags is like, I don't know, 150 or something. You select 40 as the starting, 150 is your maximum, and then 40 is where it's going to end again. So what this one would do is it starts counting off at 40, and you just sit here and rep out cha da 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 cha. Thank you for the sub. Cha da da da. Now we're at 41. Oh my goodness, so fast. And then we go to, oh my goodness, 42. So every measure is going up one click at a time. I'm skipping through all this until it gets to whatever your maximum tempo is, the maximum range. In this case, it's going to go all the way up to 150, and it's going to hold 150 for, woo, I went too far, for 4 measures while you play flam drags, and then it's going to go one click slower all the way back down to 40. This is a great way to work on your technique while also pushing your hands to play faster. So I highly recommend this slow, fast, slow playlist. It took me a long time to make those. And I promise it's worth it. I wish I had these when I was like really learning how to refine rudiments. But there's an opposite version of this called fast, slow, fast. Right here, also in the technique section. But when you click on this one, it goes the opposite direction. So let me just show you with 16th notes, just to spice things up a bit. But inside of here, if you look at the BPMs, it's saying it starts at 140, it goes to 40, and then it goes back to 140. So this one starts fast, goes slow, and then goes fast. Hence the name fast, slow, fast. Wow, super original. So if I click on this, it's going to start at 140 or whatever BPM you want it to start off, and it's going to slowly slow it down one measure at a time until you get all the way to 40 beats a minute, and then it's going to hold it there for excuse me, it's going to hold it there at 40 beats a minute for a total of 4 measures. And then it'll go one click faster every single measure until you get back to whatever you chose for your starting tempo. Highly recommend that people work on these. The very first iteration of this, the first version of this, which is quarter notes, took me 80 hours, 80 hours to make this version with quarter notes for fast, slow, fast, and slow, fast, slow. And in that 80 hours, it has less than 1,000 views, which means I've made $1 billion off of that. The return on investment is strong. It's like less than $1. But highly recommend it. Despite the lack of views, it is super helpful. I also put it in the chop section for fast, slow, fast, and slow, fast, slow, because it works on your chops as well as your technique. So I highly recommend both of these, either the chop section or the technique section. But anyways, that's chop stuff. Grid is what I warmed up with. Make sure you click on the header so you can see all these different rudiments. Tomorrow, I'm going to be practicing limb independence for about an hour. And then there's a bunch of other stuff to work on your playing. And if you're like, well, how do I practice? Or what is my technique supposed to look like, etc. The drumming tips playlist has over 20 hours of me answering questions, like the questions that I received today, as well as some scripted lessons on different stuff, like I mentioned, like playing zones for tenors, or like how to speed up a rudiment like this one, or the stretch and massage routine that I did, or how to recover after practicing physically, mentally, emotionally, etc. Check these out. There's a lot of content in here that I paid a lot of money to learn, and I'm giving it to you for free. If you see any of the 600 or so videos that are listed as members first, they're all scheduled to release for free. So if I go into the chop playlist, let me see if I can find one. Like this one. So this one that says members first, it's going to come out for free eventually. It might be tomorrow, or it might be like a year and a half from now. If you want the early access, just click join. It's 99 cents. That's the cheapest that I could make it, but you'll get 600-ish videos early access to. Otherwise, just wait. It'll come out. I don't sell my content, so I don't sell a book, an app, a course, lessons, etc. I just give away free resources. It just might be like a year from now when it comes out. Channel's a godsend. You don't know how I don't know more popular? It's because of the lack of the hair. It's the solar flare that comes off of my forehead that just scares people away. Well, I'm really happy to hear that it's helpful for you, but, you know, stay tuned for more content. In fact, later on today, I'm going to be recording a video, which is why I have this little tripod ready that I'll be using this afternoon to create a drumming lesson video about marking time and how you can get better at that. So that should release like 4 Mondays from now, I think. Let's see. Another drumming lessons. How many are currently scheduled to release? 1, 2, 3 in here. Yeah, so 4 Mondays from now, it'll come out. So stay tuned for that. But anyways, if you all enjoy these free resources, just share it with somebody else. If you don't enjoy these free resources, share it with an enemy. They'll be like, curse you. But I'm going to get ready for Yakuza Like a Dragon. Stay tuned for that. It'll probably be in 20 or 30 minutes. I'm actually going to record something in between these 2 different streams. But if you want to see that game from the beginning, under the gaming section, just scroll down. It's here, Yakuza. It's fun. But I'm enjoying it. Anyways, I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Thank you for the questions, and goodbye.